Maranatha, my PBC family and friends. Pastor Brian here with another quick bite, living the word. Today our word is going to come from Matthew chapter 16, take 2. Anyway, so what is interesting about this one is, so yesterday we talked about the denying ourselves and really what that's all about, and kind of making sure that it was like we weren't doing this denial for self-promotion. We were doing this denial in the sense of we wanted Christ to lead, we wanted Christ to take our lives, which is really the next part of this statement. He says there in verse 24, Matthew chapter 26, he said, or Matthew chapter 16, Matthew chapter 16, he says, "Then Jesus said unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself." There's that first part. And remember, we tied that to what? Whosoever loses life whoever shall save his life shall lose it, right? So the point of the matter was that's really that denial. Then he says, "And take up his cross and follow me. For whoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it." So this second part of the take up his cross and follow me, or take up his cross, and will lose his life for my sake shall find it, tied together. Why? Well, because really what we're talking about here is he's saying, here's the point, denying yourself and now coming after my purpose, right? So coming after my sake, my desire, my will for your life. That's that taking up our cross. And what's interesting is he says to take up your cross daily, other places he says, and follow me. In other words, this is a conscientious decision every day we have to make, and actually every moment, to even more than that says, Lord, I am following you. I'm no longer following self. I'm no longer following my will, my desires. I'm following your will, your desires. And what are those? And you might be amazed that oftentimes God's will and desires sometimes even match or aligns with some of the things that we have for ourselves. But the point of the matter is really, in all honesty, what he's telling us here, guys, is to what? Take it up. Take up that cross. Get up every morning. Get in every moment and say, Lord, you lead in this moment, Lord. What is it you desire of me at this time? What is your will in this moment? Now, I'm not sitting there saying, as you're coming across, if you're coming up to a situation that you don't react quickly if necessary. For example, you're driving in your car and a kid runs out in the street. Don't stop and go, Lord, what's your will in this situation? You know what his will is. Hit the brakes. Avoid hitting the child. I mean, that's just something that we know the will of God because we know what his word says. But other places, we're just taking up his cross and carrying his cause for his sake, or for really, in honesty, for our sake, right? Because we will truly find, as some people are looking for in their life, truly find their purpose in life when we find ourselves giving our life to Jesus. So that's really what that second part of that's about. So we start by denying, and then we take. We deny, then we take. We deny, we take. Just like I said yesterday as the little clip there. We deny and we take. Why? Because what we do is we lose and we find. When we deny, we lose. When we take, we find. That's the point. And that's what it's all about. So let's today now also focus not only denying ourselves, but also on taking up the cause of Christ, taking up the cross and seeing what he has for us and finding his will in our world. I hope this encourages you today, and I hope this challenges you. I love you, we love you, God loves you, and God's got this.